Hello guys, and welcome back to the channel. Today for you, I have a review of the W.A.S.P rocket launcher from the collab with Killzone. Although I have deemed this stratagem really bad after trying it for the first time, I had to change my mind. And this stratagem is actually really good if used in the correct way. Now, I'm not saying it's perfect. In fact, it needs several improvements to become a really nice, unique and enjoyable weapon. Please note, this guide is based only on max difficulty, so enemy types encountered on lower difficulties will not be mentioned. Then again, I doubt there will be any differences. Let's start with some basics. The rocket launcher has a maximum locking range of 300 meters. The reload is rather quick honestly, and it's divided into two stages: spent canister out and new canister in. You get 6 total missile canisters, which is a lot, and if you use your ammo in an efficient way, it will take a while for you to run out. This rocket launcher has 2 firing modes, burst and artillery. Let's talk about artillery and when to use it. The artillery mode launches a single missile up in the air. Upon reaching a few meters above its target, the missile will explode and release an airburst onto the ground. When should you use this firing mode? Fucking never! The most useful aspect of this firing mode is that it just looks badass, but it's fucking useless. It's just too RNG dependent. It's like gambling, and the only reward you get is wasting ammo. Just no. Don't use this ever until it gets fixed. And Arrowhead, it needs to get fixed. Because it just does nothing. Here, for instance, let's see how long it takes for me to destroy this single command bunker.
Nope.
Another one.
Nope.
Another one.
Nope.
Another one.
Nope.
Another one.
Nope.
And another one.
Now on to our favorite mode, Burst. In this firing mode, you will get to fire up to 7 missiles to your target. These missiles appear to deal a massive amount of damage. However, they seem to lack on durable damage, with all 7 of them combined having roughly only half the durable damage of an expendable anti-tank. This means that we will struggle to take out anything heavily armored, like Bile Titans and Chargers frontally. This is why I usually bring the expendable anti-tank when I fight against Illuminates or Terminate. A Bile Titan, for example, will take 2 whole canisters, so 14 missiles to the head to die. This mode is not perfect, however, and it has a couple of flaws, actually more than a couple. First flaw. Occasionally, the missiles will lose their target if said target dies when the missile is still flying towards it. I don't know what causes this, and it's pretty rare, but it can indeed happen. Second flaw. The missiles are pretty agile, and if shot from too close, they have a very high chance to miss. Say an 80% miss chance. Third flaw. The lock-on system will not always cooperate with you, especially when you'll be wanting to lock onto the center of groups to get maximum value out of the area damage of your missiles. This is an issue that the Spear has too. However, on the Spear, it is easily fixed by going into first-person mode. Unfortunately, the W.A.S.P first-person reticle is still quite big, which doesn't help. These first 3 flaws are fine and give more immersion to the players. However, the next 2 flaws I'm about to talk about need to get addressed by Arrowhead. Fourth flaw. The missiles are having a lot of troubles hitting targets with small hitboxes, such as the enemies we find in the Illuminate faction, like Watchers and Overseers. From my tests, it appears they have a 40% chance to miss their target, even if said target is not moving at all, no matter the amount of space given to the missile. Fifth flaw. The missiles have an interesting way of flying towards their target. It seems that they will try to pick a random direction for flying towards their target initially. While this is cool, it makes them often fail to connect due to obstacles that are next to us when we fire them. Arrowhead seems to have implemented a sort of mechanic to avoid this issue, however, it doesn't appear to work well at all. For example, in this next clip, I fired 5 missiles total. 3 of them went into the rock to my right, while 2 of them took the correct path and flew upwards and then straight to their target. If I am right and this mechanic actually does exist, it either needs to be massively improved or rather just have the missiles fly straight up like the last 2 I fired in the clip. Next up, I'm going to talk about which targets you should avoid and which targets you should prioritize, including the amount of missiles required to take them down to maximize your ammo efficiency. First of all, targets to avoid. Tanks of any type, fabricators, hulks of any type, cannon towers, harvesters, bile titans, and chargers of any type. There are a few exceptions though. Thankfully, some of these targets have weak spot, which makes our job easier. So you can prioritize these targets only if they are showing their back to you or their weak spot to you. And it should take like 3 rockets or a little more to kill them if they connect right. Cannon towers, hulks, chargers, and tanks, but only the Shredder and the Annihilator tank. The Barrager tank doesn't have a weak spot. And the only special enemy which has its weak spot not on the back is the Impaler. You can focus an Impaler, but only from the front and when it is exposing its soft flesh. Moving on to specific targets, we have targets that die with a single missile. For the Illuminate side, we have Overseers, Elevated Overseers, and Watchers. For the Terminate side, we have Stalkers. Note, you can lock onto Stalkers even when they are invisible. Hive Guards, Warriors of any type, Nursing Spewers. Note, 1 missile is enough to kill an entire patrol due to their chain reaction. Bile Spewers. Note, although 1 is enough, I usually prefer to fire 2 missiles to Bile Spewers patrols because the area damage of 1 missile is not enough to trigger their chain reaction. And finally, Bug Holes. Note, only works if the missile explodes inside the hole, so only if you shoot it from the front. For the automatons we have Berserkers and Devastators of any type. Moving on, we have enemies that die with 2 missiles. For the Illuminate side we have nothing. For the Terminate side we have Alpha Commanders, and for the Automaton side we have Rocket Striders, Gunships, and Automaton small turrets. I'm talking about the turrets you can find at mortar emplacements or mega outposts or anti-air emplacements. Those small fuckers that kill you every time, especially at mega outposts and command bunkers. Moving on, we have enemies that die in 4 missiles. For the Automaton and Illuminate sides, we have nothing. For the Terminate side, we have Spore Spewers and Shrieker Nest Towers. Lastly, the only thing that dies with 6 missiles is the Factory Strider main cannon, from any angle. I hope this guide was helpful to you. Thank you for watching and see you to the next one.